Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about the underlying folder structure from running the command npx create react app and then whatever name you put for your app. Okay, so for me, I created a new single page application with that command, which is called new app. I'm going to show you in my file explorer. So this is the app I've created running that command, and here I have the typical folder structure. Okay, as you can see, I'm using Visual Studio Code, and I'm accessing this from inside there. So .git folder is a hidden file, which is why it's not showing up in Visual Studio Code. But then you can see the different icons that Visual Studio Code is using for folders and so on. Is more intuitive. That's why I'm using it. But you can just check the files that I'm telling you through your file explorer. It should be just fine. Okay, I'm gonna close this window. So in here, what I have these two folders that will be our main point of focus. Okay, so in here we have a package JSON file. This file will contain all the information about your product, your application that you're trying to build. Okay, you'll have some scripts, some dependencies, and other details. Yeah. Then you have readme md file, which is a markdown file. I can preview it because I installed an additional extension for doing this. So this is how it actually looks like if you have a markdown interpreter. But otherwise it will look just like this, which is still okay. You can read it. So in here you have a lot of information about the scripts and some useful links to learn more about React. Okay. So if you don't know what single page application is, I will attach some references so that you can learn more about it in your spare time. So then I have node modules is basically the folder that contains any kind of packages that your product requires to run. And this is achieved by using Node Package Manager, and you can install other additional packages using the npm tool. Okay, and then I'm gonna talk about the public folder. The public folder contains information about the application that you're building. So in here you have an index.html file, which is the main file that is being used for your application. Again, you need to know more about single page application to understand how this fully works. But basically, everything that you're building in your React product is going to be rendered at some point in time inside this index.html file. Okay. These other bits, favicon, ICO, logo 192, logo 512, are basically icons that you're using for React on your website. So if I'm gonna run this, I'm gonna write npm run start. This is gonna run my development server for React, and I'm just gonna split the screen so you can see this is how the application looks like. So favicon icon shows up in the tab. Okay, and then we have some of these logos. I guess it's actually this logo that is being used on this page. The other logos are used depending on where this application is accessed from. Inside the manifest JSON file, you'll see different references to favicon, ICO, and the other images. This file allows you to add icons and information about your application when this application gets added on a mobile device. So you know, I can show you the example when you're using iPhone. When you go to a page and you're trying to share this page, somehow you'll also get the option of adding it to the home screen. So for example, if I added Verge to my home screen, Yeah, this is how it will show up there. So in your case with React, you'll see one of these icons that we have here, either this one that you can currently see on the web page, so something like this, or favicon icon, depending on the size of the picture that can be used for the device that you're trying to access. And then you also have the name for the application that will show up on the home screen, and then colors and so on. And then robots.txt file is file that allows search engines to crawl on your page and find information about your pages so that they can update their content. You can find out more about web crawling from Wikipedia. I'm gonna add this to my video description as well. It's quite long, but it's a good explanation. You can just read this part from here, and you should be okay. So I'm gonna come back to my React app, and then I'm gonna talk about the source directory. So we're done with public. Moving on, we have index.js file. Basically, this file will import your application and we'll add it inside the index.html file that we just seen. As you can see, it gets the element by ID root, which is inside index.html, this div element. Okay. So coming back to the application, so this is what index.js file does. Also, it's adding a service worker, which is not a register. What the service worker does, you'll see it's located here as well. It will allow you to add offline features to your app so that your app can do different things even though the client is not currently connected to the network. Okay. You can find out more about the functionality that can be achieved with Service Worker by checking this webpage. It's quite a long article, but you'll get a good explanation of what this Service Worker do. It's mainly about adding like nice feature like push notification and other bits, so that the user can still make use of the app even though it's not connected to internet. Okay. And index.css is the file used for index.js, and then app.js is application that you have so far. In here we can see that if we edit any bits from here, they'll get updated on your page. So I'll remove this and I'll write hello. So once I click Ctrl S, this will get updated in React, and as you can see, I have hello in here. I'm just gonna go back because it was nicer what I had before. So in here you can add any new components that you're creating with React, and then you have app.css file, which is a CSS file for your app.js file. You don't really need all this configuration. It's just the basic setup. And then you have app.test.js, which is a file that you can use for running tests over your own your React application. So this will mainly run tests for app.js file. Okay, so whenever you create a new component, you can create a CSS file for it, and then you'll need to import it as well. And so here is how you import your CSS. And then if you create a test file, you should be also using the extension for JavaScript. And in here you can write tests. This is one of the test cases. Okay, so if I'm opening a new terminal and I run npm run test, if you press A, you'll be able to run all the tests for your application. And as you can see, the test has passed. So basically this test was run and it passed. Okay, so I'm gonna do Ctrl+C to close this, and I'm gonna kill the terminal. And this is kind of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it useful. Hopefully now you have a better understanding of the underlying structure of the single page application for React. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.